Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Friday, the fifth day, I guess, of July. Hope you all had a great Fourth, and many of you are probably still off today as we head into this weekend. But today we have a trading day, and we've got economic news coming out. We'll talk about those things and more in just a few minutes when Dave joins us. But don't forget that in this world we live in, there are so many things that we have no control over. However, you can take control of your investment portfolio by knowing the amount of risk you have in your portfolio versus the amount of risk you should have in your portfolio based on your current circumstances and how close you are to retirement. Give me a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your core retirement analysis. And with that, we got Dave coming up next.
That's Uncle Cracker there. I'm old Uncle Dave. It's 8:42, 18 here before 9. Let's check in with Uncle Phil and Phillip and see what's going on Wall Street today. Phillip Statler from Statler Financial Services is on the phone to polish off the 4th of July weekend together. And we start out with the jobs report this morning, don't we, Phillip?
We do, Dave, and coming off of not bad numbers on Wednesday, when the jobs numbers first came out, we saw a jump. I will tell you that jump was short-lived. It's oscillated back down, and now it's kind of a mixed bag.
Okay. Wednesday was, I'd call it a pretty good day. I mean, the Dow basically was flat, $23 down when you're talking about 39,000 for the number. That was basically flat. As Standard & Poor's 500 and the NASDAQ both managed to close at new closing records, and that gets me nervous because the monthly job report came out. First of all, our unemployment rate officially in this nation is 4.1%. But we were expected to add to 190,000 new jobs, got 206,000, which isn't a monster big overachievement. But given the fact that we're kind of hoping to have the Federal Reserve get nothing but data that would show that the economy is doing what they want it to do, it's good news for the economy, but it's not good news in terms of what we're hoping to see the Fed make decisions on.
Well, that's right, Dave. Jobs numbers went up. Unemployment went up too. So maybe those things negate each other.
Well, that's what we can cross our fingers for as far as a reaction at the end of the month for the Federal Reserve. 206,000 jobs. We were looking at earlier this week, the ADP had showed softening job conditions in the private sector. But the JOLTS report that you had earlier in the week showed that we were overachieving the number of job openings available. It sounds to me like the job openings won, doesn't it?
It definitely does. It looks like it went that direction.
Absolutely. 4.1%, just for reference's sake for everybody. The Fed has been saying they wanted a 4% unemployment rate. So by and large, the employment market is doing within tolerance of what the Federal Reserve wanted it to do, which was kind of why I was curious as to what the reaction was as far as the futures go. Bunch of things going on this morning. Mergers and acquisition time. Saks Fifth Avenue announced the other day they're buying out Neiman Marcus. On the luxury end of the market, that sounds kind of intriguing, doesn't it?
It does, Dave. I mean, it's a pretty big deal too. It's like a $2.6 billion dollar deal in terms of what that means. And so those are some pretty big numbers. Not only do we see that in that marketplace, we're also seeing it for Macy's. Not that anything's been announced yet, but there are two venture capital companies that are looking to buy out Macy's. Arc House Management and Bridgegate Capital are now offering like $24.80 a share for Macy's, and that's up from their $24 price tag they had earlier. So who knows? Macy's may end up going private before it's all said and done.
Interesting. Brick and mortar retailers always have a challenge, so when they start becoming in play on the mergers and acquisition market, it's always intriguing. There were rumors for a long time about Macy's was entertaining private sector bids. Now we actually know who the bidders are, right?
Well, yeah, it seems to be that way. And then another big one. We've not talked about cryptocurrency for a while, Dave, but they are in the news today because of a defunct exchange called Mount Goix, I guess is how you say it. Not good news for them. We've seen Bitcoin drop over 5%, and it's the lowest we've seen it since February this year.
A 5% swing in the Bitcoin market is almost a daily wobble, isn't it?
Well, it's got a lot of companies heading down, like Coinbase, MicroStrategies, Marathon Digital, Riot Platform. All of those that deal in the Bitcoin industry are all down anywhere from 4 to 8% this morning.
Sounds like they're seeing a trend.
Yeah, I would say so.
Not good news. Other tidbits floating around this morning. Everybody caught the top of the hour news. The Labour Party ended up pretty much sweeping the British elections. They now have a numeric majority in Parliament there. I don't know how the European markets are going to end up responding for that long term. I mean, we only got one full day since the elections that they've been showing up, but it's going to be an interesting thought. British markets are just up fractionally halfway through their trading day so far today, but this is kind of analogous to the notion of if the Democrats took over, Congress and the presidency all at once in this country, a more big government-oriented outlook. The British public basically got sick of the pain being caused by the tight money plans on the conservative side controlling inflation, and now they said, okay, screw it, we're putting the Democrats in. It's going to be kind of interesting watching that happen with British markets over the next few months.
It will be, because they were getting a handle on their inflation, so we'll see if it goes back out of control.
Absolutely. Might end up giving some credibility for the Democratic point of view as our elections get closer if it works for them. But it ought to be interesting on the market front. Other stuff going on, Chinese markets, and I made mention of this while you were gone yesterday. Chinese markets have now returned back down to bear territory, as if the Chinese economy doesn't have enough challenges with whole cities full of empty real estate because their real estate markets are crashing. Now there's been a run on Chinese government bonds that's dropped the yield on the interest rates and the yield from those bonds so far. The central bank the other day put out a warning that they're approaching bubble territory. Now, we all remember what happened when our bonds went herky-jerky here with a bunch of mid-sized banks out west. That's doing it to Chinese markets. They barely crawled out of bear territory the other day, and now they're falling like rocks, and they're back down in bear territory on that side of the pond.
Yeah, they've actually, they've struggled some, and they continue to struggle in their marketplace. So real estate's a big deal over there, and I think that's also causing them some issues right now.
Yeah, well, the interesting, over what I was reading is when the Evergrande bankruptcy took place over there, Chinese citizens do with real estate traditionally what our citizens do with dabbling in the stock market. Their retirement funds are tied up in all these apartments that were built over there. Some of them didn't even get finished, and they've got whole cities full of empty apartment blocks that were built as investments for Chinese citizens, and they don't have anybody to put in them, and they aren't even done yet. I mean, it's a crash of proportions that would make our heads spin over there. Over in China, they just say, well, don't go near that city. It's closed. No, it's unoccupied. It really is different over there. There's absolutely no doubt to be had. Oh, talking about meme stocks, we talk about GameStop, we talk about AMC. There's a new meme stock out there. The Koss headphone people.
The who?
Their stock, the Koss headphones, K-O-S-S. They're a Milwaukee-based manufacturer of headphones. I will only use Koss. They're great studio headphones. Their stock was up 168% on Tuesday, or on Wednesday, rather. The meme stock people got to it. The Roaring Kitty decided that was his latest buy, so he had people buying Koss headphones. They went from like $3 a share up to like $11 a share in one day.
Oh,
we have a new meme stock to watch. And I was ruminating yesterday on that, saying, I wonder if anybody's ever going to catch up with the fact that this Roaring Kitty fellow just pumps the price of his stock up after he takes a position and then sells it and makes $1 million out of a bunch of people that follow him on Reddit.
Yeah, that's just crazy that they haven't closed him down yet.
Absolutely amazing to me. Any other tidbits you've got floating around the markets this morning?
No, it's really kind of quiet on this Friday as we head into the weekend. And so even the markets aren't moving a whole lot. They have gone, well, they're mixed now again. So um, they go up a little, they come down a little bit. So they don't know what way to go right now.
Well, what do you figure we're looking at 45 minutes before we open then?
So right now we've got a tinge of green across the board. The Dow is up $25. The S&P 500 actually is down 10 cents right now. And the NASDAQ 100 is up like less than $10. So nothing earth shattering is moving there. Let me just switch. My normal page is gone. I'm having to use my phone today. So now we've got on the other side, the commodity side, we've got gold is up a whole $9, which is about 1/3%. Silver up 1/3% as well, still over $30 at $30.92 an ounce. And then crude oil, Dave, it's trying to get to 85 again. It's $84.01 right now, up about 14/100%.
Ain't happy to hear that. Overseas markets, the Asian rim is really kind of mixed this morning for a change. Hong Kong and the mainland Chinese markets mostly off. The South Korean market is up big time. On balance, I'd call it flat across the Asian rim. European markets, the UK markets right now just staged a major resurgence. They're up considerably in the wake of that election yesterday. Overall, European index is up, call it about 1/4% halfway through their trading day today. Getting a retirement plan together to make it work according to what your plan was takes a set of eyes that most of us don't have handy in our heads. That means you're involved, Phillip. How do I get a hold of you to figure out my retirement?
Yeah, that's why I developed the core retirement design to help people, really design that retirement they always dreamed of. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your core retirement analysis. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 730 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And back Monday morning with a look as to what happened over the weekend and is likely to affect our money next week here on Light. We'll see you shortly, my friend. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You have a great weekend.
Be well. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Phillip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I hope you had a great 4th. Enjoy the weekend. Join us again here on Monday, where we'll talk about more of what's happening in the marketplace. Until then, have a great day.